Okay, we are live. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Good to see everybody. Hopefully, everybody's had a good weekend. Wanted to do a live on a Sunday afternoon. Get some business taken care of. You know how we do it here. Welcome, everybody. See who we got up in here real quick. Little Miss Sunshine. Welcome. K Money is in the house. Welcome, Miss K Money. Good to see you. Hope everything is good with you and family. Good to see you. 12-step woman, Miss 12, I'm going to call you. How's that? So if you decide to change your name to anything, go to Miss 12. Much love to you. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Holding the fort down, as always. Let's see. Miss Jan is up in the house. Welcome, Miss Jan. We had a good time with your name one time, but I'm getting used to Miss Jan being up in the house. Welcome. Miss Libby is in the house from Libby's Lessons FYM. Got some special things that we're going to be talking about today. Welcome, Miss Libby. Much love to you and yours. Oh, let's see. We got Jody H in the house. TJ Cook is in the house. Rachelism or Raquelism is in the house. Welcome. Much love to you. Thank you for joining us. Oh, you got time today? Good. So do I. So do I. Robin B is in the house. From Indiana, Robin B from Indiana. Great. Good to have some folks from Indiana connecting with folks here in New York and down south Georgia. I mean, we got some people. We got some people. Much love to you. Welcome. Caressa is in the house. Good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to do a live this afternoon. I had planned it for quite some time, but I had to take care of some family business, helping my daughter do a move thing, a relocation thing. Now she's out in Queens, not too far from me, and wanted to make sure that she was good. And we got the mail forwarded. We got the furniture taken care of. You know, you got to go by Walmarts to buy curtains and bathroom sets and kitchenette sets and things of that nature. So we were able to get a lot of work done in the last few days. But she's good now. I had the grandkids yesterday, and boy, oh boy, you have fun with grandkids. You know, when they're ages, 11, 9, and 8, it's like, okay, you got your hands full. And I said the best place for them is outside. And it was pretty decent outside. We had a fun time. Kids love ice cream. They can get busy with some ice cream. So, and it don't matter what season it's in either. So we did that. We went to the park. We enjoyed the sunshine, as much of it as we got here in New York. And once it started getting cold, we came back and had some popcorn, slid in a couple of movies, made some noise, ticked off a couple of neighbors, but that's fine. It only happens once in life, and you got to get the best of it. So other than that, I hope you've enjoyed your weekend, whatever you decided to do. We have a lot to talk about today. So with that said, we got to get busy. You know what time it is. It's time to go to work. So let's go to work.
All the way from New York City. He really doesn't need an introduction. He's worked on several cases, like the Orrin and Orson West case, the Summer Wells case, the Ma'Khia Bryant case. He's also known for the hard work and dedication he put in to the Kanika Jenkins case. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you Mr. John Q. Let's go now. Let's go now. John Q. Yeah, it's time to go to work. John Q. What the name is? business. Ain't no real competition that's living. Who got a vision that's vivid? Ain't no goddamn gimmick. No goddamn limits. John go hard till he finish. John Q. Tell him what it do. I can say a whole lot about the dude. Who? John Q. Working case after case. Let's get it. Goddamn it, he meant it. Who we talking about? John Q. Evidence to the proof. John only putting out the truth. He making it do. He taking you through. Never breaking the rule. An understatement when you say that he cool. Yeah, we talking about John Q. Anybody got a problem, come and holler. I will bet my bottom dollar and I put it on John Q. Shit, he better than the news. Q the truth. Shit, we talking about John Q. Put your 8 balls up. Put your 8 balls up. Let's go. Get a drummer song. Let's get it. I don't think I even meant John do it from the heart. He don't do it for attention. But the trolls still bitch. They should mind they business. They chillin' in the bush, watching John get busy. We got a couple ranch like tricks. She get them out quickly, so everybody make sure they attend. We rockin' with a winner. Just how we ride. So you can keep all the vision. Maybe you should try to uplift. Maybe John, he was born with the fish. Paint the picture with precision. Maybe if you listen, you just might get it. Cause it's a fact, John get whole YouTube shit. But it's still something acting real easy. John, he's a man on a mission. It's the fact that he did. Yeah, catch it if it's something real fish. He's solid to the bone, he never switch. Alright, let's get it. Just how we ride. Let's go. Let's get it. Just how we ride. Who you came to see? John Q.
Okay. Welcome, everyone, this afternoon. You are in the right place at the right time. We're going to get to the business. That intro piece was done by my brother, Mr. Boss Blake. We work hard at what we do. And one thing for sure, Mr. Boss Blake always comes through. We're going to be joined this afternoon by some special guests that's going to assist me in bringing to you 4 independent stories that I've been working on. 2 stories that are brand new. I want to give a major shout out to Miss Penny from True Crimes Commentary, who brought to my attention a story that she wanted me to take a look at. So we are going to do a little bit of a highlight on a story that she had sent me. And it's the story of a young man that the authorities say was a suicide, and yet was upgraded to a homicide. Parents are seeking the truth, looking for justice for one of their family members, a son, out of Florida. And they believe that there's some foul play. Authorities obviously will not allow certain personal pieces of information get out of their hands, and so their family is looking for justice for their son. But first up, there was a story that was premiered on another content creator's channel. She does an excellent job at bringing awareness to stories that come right out of the corner, hot off the press, which grabbed my attention. And this story is of a missing 32-year-old woman. This is out of Georgia. I think it's Pinellas Town, Florida, somewhere near Rome. And it was very interesting. Was able to capture some information from that awareness, that highlight piece that Miss Libby from her channel, Libby's Lessons FYM. And I was able to communicate to her that I would look into it right away. During the time that she released this information on her live, I was able to get in contact with Mr. Boss Blake out of the South area of Georgia there to see if he could find out some information on the case. And lo and behold, we were able to at least begin to take a look at a case that is evolving. So with that said, I want to bring up a special guest for this afternoon to cover that particular story that I saw on Miss Libby's channel. And here joining us is Miss Libby from Libby's Lessons FYM to join us here this afternoon.
John.
Yes.
You're just so good. You're just so refined. Like, I can't.
Oh, you can. Well, welcome this afternoon. Welcome. I'm glad to have you.
You're so polished.
Well, I mean, the kind of work that we do here on this channel, Miss Libby, we try to look at things and give a different perspective to folks that are, looking for not only the stories to these crazy cases that come our way, but looking for the truth from someone who can deliver it in a very different way, straight to the point, and as direct as possible. So thank you. I take that as a compliment, love.
It is a compliment. Absolutely.
Good to have you. Good to have you. I know you're a busy woman and everything. And I said, once we were able to connect and do this special collaboration this afternoon, that we were going to continue to follow up on this case, because once I start a case, I like to follow up, as you do, and make sure that, we get some kind of justice for a case. We like to see positive endings rather than a case go cold and, it just gets swept under the rug somewhere, Yes. So welcome this afternoon.
Thank you.
Yes. And alongside of her, I'm going to bring up one of my brothers that did some research, was able to pull up some information on this particular story. And I wanted it to do it with Miss Libby and Mr. Boss Blake. Boss Blake being brother boots on the ground, and Miss Libby to give her credit for bringing the story to my attention. And so with that said, I'm going to be bringing up Mr. Boss Blake to join us on the panel. Mr. Boss Blake.
What's going on, John? What's going on, Miss Libby?
Hi, I feel really weird. I think I should turn my camera off.
Well, I'm getting myself together, so I would have had mine on, but
you forgot to put makeup on.
I'll be up there with you. Give me a second.
It's no problem.
Me, I didn't comb my hair or shave, so I got an excuse. But anyway, today we wanted to begin to take a look at a case that is evolving, and I wanted Miss Libby to, I guess, give us just a brief idea as to the way she came across this particular story and what stood out to you in regards to Monisha Leath out of Georgia, a 32-year-old mother who went missing under some strange circumstances. So, Miss Libby, bring us up to speed as to, how you came across this case and why you feel it's important for everyone to be aware of it.
Okay. So I actually received an email from, she's not a creator, but she's very well known. She's a moderator on many channels. Blanca.
Blanca.
It's Blanca. You know who Blanca is, right?
Yes, I've seen her name before.
So she had emailed me asking me if I would consider covering Monisha's case. And she said that she had been reaching out, or that Capricorn girl. Are you familiar with Capricorn girl? She's another.
I've heard of her too. Mm-hmm.
I see her around a lot on a lot of the chats, and she's actually a friend of Monisha's. And so that's how Blanca became aware of the case. And between the two of them, they're going around like, hello, can you please cover her case? And you don't have to ask me twice. Like, I mean, really, I'll cover any case.
Right.
If
right.
someone, frankly. But then when I looked into her more, I'm like, oh my gosh, she has 3 daughters, 3 beautiful daughters, devoted mother. Everybody, if you look at her Facebook page, everybody is saying what a wonderful friend she is, wonderful sister, and just a great and devoted mom. So there's just no way they're not buying that she just was like, I'm fed up and leaving my kids.
Right.
They said no way. So what I will say to the credit of law enforcement is that they, from what I can tell, they did right away get her posting made and put it out there. But if you look for news on her or YouTube videos, it's slim pickings, very slim. There's 2 YouTube videos that I found. One Mountain Girl put out recently, and the other was by a friend of Monisha's.
Okay.
That's it.
Now, this story started unfolding, I believe, at the tail end of February.
Yes,
if I'm
February
not mistaken.
24th.
24th, okay. And we're just, around the corner, a little over a month now, with this young woman. And let me just do this to give it some justice. And I thank Mr. Boss Blake for sending me this particular photograph image. And just let me know when you can see that. This will give everybody an idea of who we are talking about. Let me know when you can see that.
You see it.
Okay, good. And this is out of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, seeking information on a missing person, Monisha Leath. And she's 32 years old, black female, 5'7", 180 pounds. She has short brown hair, right nostril pierced, and a tattoo on the left hand. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation, Calhoun Field Office, and the Cedartown Police Department are asking for the public's help with locating Monisha, a 32-year-old black female. Monisha was last seen around 2 p.m. on Thursday, February 24th of 2022, near Rome, Georgia, Floyd County, and the Polk County line. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of Monisha Leath is to ask to call the GBI at 1-800-597-TIPS or 1-800-597-8477. And so this is the young lady who happens to be a mother, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
She's a mother of 3 girls. Yep.
3. Oh my goodness. Do we know what ages they are?
I know that she has a 6-year-old only because I was snooping on her Facebook, and she recently turned 6 in February.
In February, okay.
Look how beautiful she is. In regard to her last known location, I wanted to note that it's really, really close to the Alabama line. So
okay, Alabama state lines.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
And then
And
Tennessee is a hop, skip, and a jump above
right.
too.
Now, did they were they able to identify any the reasons why she went missing? Was there any backstory on that? Was she
Oh
out
yes.
shopping?
So I don't know the last place that she was seen. I know that her sister last spoke with her at like 2 p.m. I believe that
Okay.
day. But of note, the husband was arrested in January. I think somebody has pulled that record. Have you? One of you? No. Well,
No,
I
that's
found an article. I didn't find the arrest record, but I found an article that was dated January 24th, and he was arrested for simple battery. And that altercation happened in front of the three girls.
But he got out.
oh
ever
wow.
since, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
he got out. And I was looking at her Facebook, like I said, and the posts around that time of the altercation are interesting. Her posts,
Okay.
she's like, I'm sick of this type of posts on her Facebook.
Yep.
But
Right.
then, like I said, I still don't believe for a second that she left her three girls behind. If she was going to leave to get away from him, she would have took her baby girls.
Okay.
That's according to everybody who has talked about her that knows her.
So I'm wondering if if they had this January incident where there was a domestic dispute between them, and he went to jail temporarily or whatever like that. I wonder if she had gotten a restraining order, after that time, and he violated that restraining order somehow.
That I don't know.
Okay. Okay. So we're just taking a look at the beginning stages of looking into this case. So we're learning as much as we can with very limited media coverage, as you stated. And I had asked Mr. Boss Blake to see what he could find on this young woman, find out about the story a little bit, to see if there's any new developments, especially locally from that area and being in and around that area, to see if we can continue to follow up on any new developments that may have occurred without us knowing it yet. So, Mr.
Yep.
Boss Blake, would you like to share with us anything that you may have come across that can help us to shine more light on this particular case?
Yeah, not a problem. The first thing I normally do when I actually go under these missing cases is try to find out a lot about the person prior to them going missing. So what's the best place to go? Social media, their Facebook. And
Right.
one thing that just really stood out to me from her Facebook page, she has nothing on her Facebook page about her husband. Every other post, she's tagging her baby's father.
Yes.
That stood out to me.
Yes.
Stood out to me. And I
That
was
they
like,
get along. They get along.
yeah, fine, yeah. And it be like that sometimes too. It do. I don't know what that dispute was about that in January that made him go to jail. But I truly have a feeling it had something to do with the baby father. That's just my instinct, because he's all over her page. There's not one sign of her baby, of her husband on there at all. And just like you said, Ms. Libby, like if you go down her timeline, going all the way back to January, hell, past that, she's not happy. She's not happy. And she just got married to this guy last year, for what her sister said on the news. That stood out to me. Another thing is, I don't know if y'all want to get to the day she went missing, but the fact that the mom didn't show up to the after school program, of course, they called her sister. I would think that the husband be the next person they call.
Yes, I brought that up too. I was like, that's interesting. That's real interesting because you fill out that paperwork of who's going to be who can pick up and who's like the emergency contacts and whatnot. And we don't know. Maybe they called him and he didn't answer. I don't know, but she went to pick up them kids. The sister did. So it's telling of something.
Exactly. He's never been worried. Like, did you even go check on the kids? I don't think they were his kids, but you married her, so they are pretty much your stepkids.
Right.
So,
right. So was the police able to interview him, the husband, in regards to her whereabouts, whether he knows anything or whether he's been out searching or made a statement of any kind that we know of?
I haven't found anything about them speaking to him.
Wow.
If they haven't, then I have questions. I would venture to guess that they have questioned him, but I mean, we shouldn't assume, I suppose.
Yeah.
Right.
They haven't put out a post or anything saying he's wanted for questioning, so my assumption would be they questioned him because he was the last one actually, I guess, around her. Because remember, when her sister tried to reach out to her, he the one who called her phone back on her phone. So obviously she had to be with him somewhere. He told her she was in the store. She never heard back from her sister. So why wouldn't he be questioned?
What do we know? That the family is thinking. Monisha's family. Well, any comments from them that we know regarding any statements that they've made regarding her disappearance?
From what I've read, her sister stated that they have had limited contact with him since she went missing, and that's weird. You know what I'm saying? If you married to her sister or the mother's child, you would think you would be with them trying to help find her, but they haven't really heard from him since. So to me, take it how you want to. He's my number one suspect. He's my number one.
Yeah. It reminds me too of the Kiera Cole's story out of Chicago, where she had disappeared under strange circumstances. The boyfriend that she was with was last seen with her at an ATM machine withdrawing money from the machine. And the video surveillance footage of the ATM caught her and him on camera. And that was the last time she was ever seen up until they reported her missing about 24 to 48 hours later. She was a postal worker in Chicago, and they presume that she went to work, but yet she had called in, or whether she didn't call in to work or something like that, and just disappeared. And to this day, they haven't found her.
That's crazy.
So it gives me a little bit of an idea as to the similarities to Kiera Cole's case, and now this young woman, Monisha, under strange circumstances, and right away, the husband being marked in a way or pointed out in a way where everyone could feel that he is suspect.
I found a post from the father of the children.
Oh, okay.
Do you mind if I read it?
Oh, go right ahead. Go right ahead. Is it something that you can share, or something is that shareable?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay. So why don't
do you want me to?
Yeah, I'll come out of my screen share and I'll let you go ahead and share what you have, and then we can go from there. Okay.
So I cut his name off just because I don't know. We're on YouTube. Y'all can go find it on Facebook. It's not private, so I don't know if this is doxing, but it's public on Facebook. Okay. So, but this is
Okay.
the man that she tagged. She tagged in posts like Boss Man said, like almost daily. And so on March 22nd, he said, y'all know I don't say much on Facebook, but like I told Monisha Leath before, it pains me. I'm not in Georgia. We had our differences, and yes, we fell apart, but regardless of our past, I still love you and I still care about your well-being. We would talk for hours about everything on our minds. I miss my best friend. And then I had seen a post on here regarding cheating men. It was like not a meme, but you know, one of those posts that people share,
Right.
reshare.
Yeah. That post you just read, Libby, I took a screenshot of that as well because that stood out to me. That said a whole bunch to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she's a Scorpio. Hey. So nice.
Yep. Scorpio's in the building. Yeah.
Are you a Scorpio too?
October 26th.
And you are too, aren't you, John?
Yep.
No, I'm just before boss. I'm on the 22nd of October, so that would make me a Libra going into Scorpio.
You're on the borderline.
Yeah, right there at the front door. I'm at the front door. Not all the way in, but at the front door.
Okay. We'll let you slide in. Okay, where is that post? Oh, here it is right here. So Justin Smith said, do y'all believe a man can be 100% faithful? I mean, not like texting, calling other females, not linking up with no pose, and not cheating, just trying to see something. And she said no.
Yep, I remember that.
On February 11th. So keep in mind, that's a couple weeks, well, about 3 weeks after dude was arrested.
Wow. And then shortly after this post, she goes missing.
Yep.
And then here's around the time. Okay, February 9th. You can't disrespect me, then need me again. Of course, we don't know who that's about, but
right.
There goes Stephen Walker again. See, it's public. You could have said his name.
Yeah. So see, she's constantly, not constantly, but she tags him quite a bit, so they do have a friendly relationship.
Because she actually says, shared a post about changing the thoughts about, I guess, a baby mama and a baby father getting along. It might be coming up soon.
So it's interesting right now for us to see that there is some conversation within the month of February, conversations before, and then parts of conversations after. So this is going to be something that we're going to keep an eye on in regards to any additional responses from anyone, especially the husband, because I'm sure that in light of all this, some folks are going to be very leery and have some questions for him based upon his actions or inactions pertaining to looking for Monisha. When a person goes missing, and this is this is a spouse, everyone's going to be looking at the other spouse to see what they do, what they say, how they move. So it's going to be very interesting to follow this case, to see if anything in addition comes out of it, especially from him. I want to welcome Miss Lady Love to the chat. Much love to you, Miss Lady Love. Thank you for joining us. As well as Miss Camille. I saw that Miss Camille came in. Welcome, Miss Lorraine Muhammad. Peace and blessings to you, love. Thank you for joining us. Verdis Crime Chat.
This
Jody
gets
H.
me chills right here, this post. Tell someone you love them today because tomorrow is not promised. To my family and friends, I love you. So she posted that on January 27th. And now here we are.
Yeah, the 27th of March.
And she's gone.
I hope we don't come across the same thing that happened to Kathleen Moore out of Florida.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I hope we do not have a duplicate in this particular case. But for her not to have made any kind of contact with the family, to say she can communicate, I'm sure she would have communicated to her family by now. But when it stays silent, then, your mind can go in all different directions, wondering, what has occurred, what's happened.
Very interesting post around the time of his arrest.
So I see that Mr. Boss Blake wants to share something. I see his screen up. So
Okay.
I'll go ahead and come out of your screen share and go to Mr. Boss Blake and see what we can see here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
That's the family right there.
Okay.
3 girls and the husband.
Okay, so the guy in the background with the wife beater on is the husband?
Yes.
Okay. And then we have the children, the 3 children that are hers?
Correct.
Okay. So any statements from the biological father pertaining to, I guess, his thoughts that came out?
Not that I know. The only thing that we heard is what she read on Facebook.
Right.
Of course, he don't live in Georgia anymore. So of course, if they did any type of contact, it was probably by phone, but it has not been put out for the news. And what bothers me is when you Google this story, it's the only news clipping or anything about it is like 18 seconds long. And that's it. And then they got a couple of articles that you can read. But it's like there's no awareness on this case at all. And I think the last article that I seen was 2 weeks ago.
Like, can I just say Gabby Petito?
Say it again. I don't think they heard you in the back. For real.
I'm just saying.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Let me see. I had a couple of things in here. Let me go back to my
We got 3 beautiful kids, and it's always a dark piece about a picture when you can take a look at it, because as we all know, a picture speaks 1,000 words.
right.
And you try to define the meaning of what those words are. And they always appear to show a happy family or family together in one picture, and then something happens, and then the picture is just totally broken. Especially if if someone in the picture is a person of interest.
Absolutely. I get
Yeah.
where you're going at with it. Because he just to me he's without emotion. But her sister swear up and down that she fell in love with him last year. And but if that happened last year, what the hell happened to the love so fast? You feel what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Well, you hear, I think it's fairly common for a relationship that turns abusive to be all cool until it's official.
Right.
I don't know if that's what happened, but the sister, at least her, I think her older sister did not have anything nice to say about him. She was like, "Nah, my sister was all good until you came along."
Right.
She's not taking him at all.
And she never
And the other
changed her
thing too,
relationship status either.
I'm sorry, boss. Go ahead.
She never changed her relationship status. As you can see, it still says single.
Yeah.
And his does too.
Mm-hmm.
Now
And it
you
kind
can't
of
see
makes
any posts on his. His is all privated, but it does say single.
Yeah, I think I got his. Hold on. No, that's hers. Hold on. Still click the same one. I think it's this one. This is his page right here. Her face is on it, but this is his page. I think that was done purposely.
Probably so.
So he has a nickname named Haiti.
That's my assumption because her sister actually shared this with the news. That's where I got it from.
Mm-hmm.
Because let me see, I think I got his name too. Give me 1 second. I'm pretty sure I wrote his name down in my notes.
Yeah,
Okay.
The guy's name, the husband's name,
Yes.
Joseph Leroy Jones.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
And I got this screen back here that shows the article of his arrest. And like you said, look how short this is. Like, of course, this was back, when he got arrested, and it was just from, I think, the local, CoosaValley.com. All right, so Cave Spring man arrested after domestic altercation. This was January 24th. There he is. It looks like he's in the barber, doesn't he? Doesn't he look like he has a cape on?
Yeah, that almost look like a damn mugshot.
I know, but
Yeah, it does.
It does look like a mugshot, but doesn't that look like the barber cape?
Yeah, around his neck.
Yeah.
Yes. So here's the little article. He's 30 years old. Arrested this week after reports said he attacked his wife in front of their children. Grabbed the arms of his wife before shoving her into a wall. That happened to me before. The action resulted in a picture frame being broken. Police added that the couple's 3 children witnessed the altercation. Jones is charged with simple battery. And that's the end of it.
Yeah, because I'm thinking also too, him not being the biological father of the 3 children that she has, it makes me think that there may have been stresses between the biological father and him involving the children somehow. Visitation, things of that nature. They may have been talking to each other about possibly getting back together. This could be a love triangle of some kind that may be going on, where this Jones guy, could be feeling insecure about the relationship in some way, shape, or form. They're communicating, whether it be on Facebook or text messages, and this guy, may have, gotten to a point of no return. Just along those lines, it begins to make you wonder, being that he's isolated away from the original family members, so to speak, not being a biological part of her life in a way. Just some thoughts. Just some thoughts.
Libby, I don't know if you know this or not. When she talked to her sister around 2:30, do you know who called who? Was it her sister calling her, or was it vice versa? Because I'm thinking about something, because I actually seen also in the article it said the last time she was seen around that same time.
Right. I feel like I saw an article. Hold on, let me go and look and see if I can find it.
Okay. And so for those of you just joining us, I see you jumped in there, Obsidian. How you doing? Much love to Obsidian. And Miss Leanne Ferguson is up in the house. Welcome.
Leanne.
We're covering the story of Monisha Leath, who went missing on February 24th of this year, I believe. And we're about a little over a month regarding her disappearance. The gentleman you see on the screen is Joseph Leroy Jones, which is her husband. And it looks like there may be some fingers pointed in his direction as being a person of interest in this case.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out when the last time he was seen. Has he been seen since she went missing?
Right.
All I know is the family said they just had limited contact with him. I don't know if that's by phone, visitation, they went to see him, or he came to their house. They didn't go that deep into it. So that's the question I have. When was the last time he seen? Because he was the last one with her.
Well, let me see if I can. Oh, Miss Libby is going to go again. All right.
Here's what I found from Jackie, and it does not specifically say who called who, but this is just an interesting statement from her. If you want to read that, if you want me to, I don't know.
Sure, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Okay. I got to zoom in more because my peepers are getting old. Where to begin? This is February 25th. So the day after she went missing. Where to begin? Yesterday morning till about 2 p.m. is the last time I heard from my sister, Monisha Leath. This is not like her at all to go missing. She's a loving mother first and a caring, independent woman. She met this dude that's in the top right-hand corner that goes by the name Joseph Jones, aka Joe. Last year sometime they became lovers and just recently got married. Well, come to find out, they have been having problems, and I was telling my sister to let him go. Too many red flags. So as of yesterday, my sister Monisha have been missing. And if anyone knows anything or whereabouts, please contact the Rome Police Department and the GBI. Mr. Wilson, I wonder who that is. Somebody from the police department, I'm guessing. I'm asking to please keep my family and her 3 girls in prayer and help find my sister, Mo. We are really hurting from inside and out. Please, please help find my sister. So then there's that same picture.
Yeah, so here we have Jackie making a statement, Jackie Leath making a statement in reference to some problems and some issues that she knew that they were having.
Right.
Another
sounds
red
like
flag.
She very recently found out.
And I think she was planning on leaving him too.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think too.
And this was posted February 14th.
No, the 25th.
The 25th. 25th. Okay.
The day after.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone.
I'm sorry, I
And we
was
have
out
Miss-
saying hello to anyone.
Hello, Miss Q. Much love to you. And we've got Moulin Rouge is in the house, and Miss Yunu is in the house. Welcome and thank you for coming, ladies. Yeah, we are looking into the Monisha Leath case right now. This is out of Georgia. And I believe there was an article that I did come across. Let's see if I can share it. Give us a little bit more of an insight here. Let's see if I can do it. And let me know when you can see it.
It's up.
Okay. All right. So in this article here, I was able to find out of Fox 5 out of Atlanta in regards to this case, 32-year-old Floyd County mother not heard from for nearly 2 weeks. This was published on March 8th of 2022, updated at 11:32 p.m. This was filed under missing persons, and the story was written by Janice Yu of Fox 5. As we see here, this must be some kind of video. I'm not going to play it, but let's see. Well, let me see if I
Yeah, I'm
can.
curious how long it is.
I'm sorry, what's that?
I'm curious how long that video is.
Well, let me do this real quick. And just throw up my disclaimer. Under the copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, copyright disclaimer under this section of the Copyright Act, allowance is made for fair use for the purposes of criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is the use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. The material I'm about to cover is for educational purposes only. And let me see, I got that pegged out. Well, it's an audio. Yeah, it's an audio of the fair use disclaimer. So it's in the body of the video as well as the description down below the video. So let's see if we can play this. If it starts to act up, I'll just go ahead and read it out.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell.
I knew there was going to be a commercial in there before. Oh,
Service begins with.
hold on. I got to come back. Okay. All right, I got to come back because I didn't hook up the audio to it, so I got to start all over again. I apologize for that. I didn't know I was going to share the audio up until a moment ago. So. Okay. Now, sometimes you have to try to skip through these ads too. So we got to allow, that's why I don't like playing these things, but let's see what happens.
Case tonight. For answers. Year old miss
hasn't been seen or heard from in almost 2 weeks.
Love the.
You gotta mute yourself, John.
I'm sorry.
Fox 5's Janice Yu reports tonight.
I'm just hanging on.
Forward to the GBI.
Would never just communication, and she says straight.
Okay, I stopped screen share. Boss, if you can do me a favor, if you can go to, if you can go to find it, maybe we can play it through on your side.
I'm 10 steps ahead of you, bro.
Jacqueline.
I'm 10 steps ahead of you.
Oh, okay. Let me just shut mine off. Because I always seem to have fun when I want to share something.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, I mean, it always does that. Okay, so you got it, brother.
Are you an IT pro? So you must be.
We're going to skip past that.
Missing persons case tonight. Floyd County family is desperate for answers as they search for 32-year-old missing mother.
Monisha Leath hasn't been seen or heard from in almost 2 weeks. As Fox 5's Janice Yu reports tonight, they hope someone with information will come forward to the GBI.
Her sister tells me she would never disappear like this and leave her kids behind and cut off all communication. And she says it's been frustrating for her and the family because they just don't know where to begin searching for her.
She's like a best friend to her kids and stuff. Like, they can talk to her about anything.
Jacqueline Leath says her younger sister's world revolves around her 3 children. And that's why she says she knew something was wrong on February 24th.
It was like 6:30. I got a call from my niece's after school program was saying that my sister did not come pick up the kids or whatever.
Leath says she last talked to her sister, Monisha Leath, earlier that day. She tried video chatting with her later around 5 o'clock, but she didn't pick up. Instead, Leath says her sister's husband called back.
Called me right back off her line, off the phone, was saying she was in the store.
Since then, Leath says messages and calls to her sister's phone have gone unanswered. She says she and the family have had little interaction with her sister's husband since her disappearance. The GBI has taken over the investigation and told Fox 5 it can't provide any additional information since this is an ongoing investigation. As time passes, Leath says she and her family are growing more desperate for answers.
A group of people want to get together and search for my sister. We don't know what to search for start at.
Leath says everyone is staying positive, but they can't shake the feeling the 32-year-old mother is in need of help.
We just feel like she's still alive. We don't know where to go. We don't know what to do.
Leath has short brown hair. She has a nose piercing, and she also has a tattoo on her left hand. Now, if you have any information or you've seen her, please contact the GBI. Janice Yu, Fox 5 News.
Now, I got a question.
Okay.
I got a question.
Yes.
Of course, now I've heard that stated by the law enforcement several times. We can't give out information because it's an ongoing investigation. But that's
I'm
not
consumer investigator Dale Cardwell.
Hold on, I'm sorry.
I've done the research. Honest plumbing service began.
All right, my fault. But we see in certain cases that they do provide information out to the public. Then another thing that just struck me is the fact that they want to start a search team to look for their sister and don't know where to look. Have law enforcement created a search team? Have they even went looking for this young lady? That blows my mind.
Right. It would make you think that, that would be something automatically they would do.
Haven't seen nothing that said that yet.
Yeah, so we're going to be keeping a very close eye on the developments of this particular case. I wanted to bring awareness and attention to it and thank Miss Libby, who is on this afternoon's panel, who brought the story to my attention because it's cases like this that don't get enough awareness put on it, especially when it's so young coming out the gate. Now, even though it's slightly over a month, there should have been much more coverage, give or take, on this case pertaining to awareness. And I'm starting to notice a trend about when these cases do develop, the awareness factor is almost little to none up until you get into a second or a third month, and then this case starts to warm up for some strange reason. And that should change. That right there should change.
I'd like to make a plea to all creators to spotlight her case, to get eyes on it.
Yes, because when I came across this case from Miss Libby, that was the first thing that as soon as she showed it, I had made a comment in the chat to tell her that I would jump on it and see if we can find any additional information on it and bring it to her attention. And we're able to collaborate this afternoon on this live to bring it to your attention. So I want to thank Miss Libby for sharing that information on her channel, and Mr. Boss Blake for doing just a little bit of a background search in reference to digging out some of the dynamics on what we should be looking at and looking forward to.
My pleasure.
Yes. So I know that we did have a little bit of a timeline for you, Miss Libby, for 4:30, and it is 4:30 my time. So
yes, my pumpkin, or no, my coach is turning into a pumpkin.
So I wanted to make sure that we stayed on a timeline factor. We do have a couple of other cases that I'm going to discuss this afternoon, but this one we will stay hot on because it's right out of Boss Blake's area. And we'll keep a close eye on it. Any new developments, once again, I'll bring it to your attention. Make sure that we email you to keep you in the loop, and then if we need to, we'll come back and do a live on any updates. I'd like to stay together on this.
Yeah, that would be great. I really appreciate you bringing me on, and everyone have a blessed Sunday.
You too, Miss Libby, and tell Miss Duchess I said hello.
I sure will.
All right,
Bye,
dear.
y'all.
Have a good one. All right. And if you have not subscribed to Miss Libby's channel, I wanted to share her channel information with you. And obviously, I'm subscribed. And she does a good job. She covers these cases when they come out the gate. And so I believe that, she does a great job. And I've been running with Miss Libby for a good while. And she's solid. She's solid. And I'm just glad that she brought this information to my attention in regards to this case for us to pick up and begin putting awareness on it. So thank you, Miss Libby. And if you're not subscribed, what's that?
I love that scripture on her banner.
Yeah, and guess whose name is on it?
John,
Yes, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. And that's John chapter 1, verse 5. Thank you, Miss Libby. Much love to you. We will keep you connected and stay connected on this case, which I believe, should be resolved in a short period of time. I believe, with the person of interest being the husband, and watching how he moves, what he says, and how he's responded to this case will bring some truth to light. So, all right. So thank you all for joining us this afternoon. We're going into a case dive here on some new cases that came to my attention. And the next one up is a very interesting case. It was brought to my attention. And if you could stay, Mr. Boss Blake, I'd like to get your intake on this.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, great. Okay. This was a case that was brought to my attention by True Crimes Commentary, Miss Penny. She was on our last live on Q Squared with Miss Q and I. And it was interesting in the email that she sent me. She sent me a link, and I was able to follow that link to a point to where I said I want to put some exposure on this particular case. So let me just double check a couple of things here. And here's the video that her friend. Okay, Miss Libby, thank you. Just getting a comment there. All right. And much love to everyone joining us this afternoon. My goodness, y'all packing the house up in here. All right. So with that said, this is a story that I believe is out of Florida, of a young man that police say had committed suicide. Parents don't believe it. And there has been some very interesting levels in the investigation that makes you think law enforcement has fallen short in doing their job properly. They were told that it was a suicide and then escalated it to a homicide. What I'm about to share with you is on a first look and perspective viewpoint from the parents' side of the story, how they were treated by law enforcement, what kind of investigation had unfolded, and why they believe their son committed suicide. It was the very first story that they were told, and then as the case evolved, it was escalated to a homicide. Now, this case takes place out of 2019, and the parents of the young man we're going to be talking about is seeking justice. They believe foul play was involved, and they also believe that a person of interest is still at large. So let me see if I can find that piece. And welcome everybody to the chat. Ishtar, welcome. LC, Justice for Victims, welcome. Levi D, welcome. I'm starting to just catch up to the chat a little bit. I want to thank you all for joining us. All right, so with that said, I'm going to play for you an interview that was done by the parents. I was able to get, let me see where I put it, on a YouTube page under Vardis Morgan Jr., I believe it is. And we'll get to that in a second. And what I'm going to play for you is a direct interview that was held and shared by the parents. I found the first 10 minutes of it, I was able just to cover it, compelling. It's very descriptive. And before I do that, I believe I had put up a disclaimer, but let me do that fully so I don't get in any copyright trouble here. I just come out of this and go to find my equipment. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for the purposes such as criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. The information I'm going to share with you is from a direct video piece that I was able to find on YouTube under the name of Jarvis, I believe it is. But let me get to it now since I've flagged that up. and bring it to your attention. I find this very interesting. Another story that needs to be highlighted and brought awareness to. So let me just bring it up and get it keyed up. Let me know if you can see that, Mr. Boss.
Is up?
Okay, very good. Let me just drop this out of here. Let me come back and make sure that my microphone is off so that we can listen into this particular story.
So when you the next time you guys spoke to the police, did they say it was suicide?
He insinuated that. He said that he didn't leave a note.
Okay.
But before we left, through the conversation, he said we were investigating this as a homicide.
And
so,
and when did they change?
After I started asking questions, and I wasn't getting no answers.
And they changed it from homicide to suicide, or from suicide to homicide?
Yeah. In fact, he said they were investigating it as a homicide. When we first went into the room, he insinuated that it was suicide. And me and my husband, we just looked at each other because I initially said.
When you said the room,
so we went to one of the interview rooms at the police department, and he insinuated suicide. And I said, okay. Then my husband, we just kind of looked at each other. And, well, I know my son, so I didn't believe suicide. You know, they would have had to prove to me that he committed suicide. And he said that he didn't leave a note. So I was like, okay. So what, he said all he knows is Kara said that they were at Walmart. He said he was going to blow his brains out. I said, what reasoning? Why? He goes, oh, I didn't really talk to her that much. Once we broke the news to her, after we told you and your husband that, you know, we found Verdis deceased. I said, so you didn't ask her about why they got into it, or why would he say he's going to blow his brains out? That just didn't make any sense to me. So he says, well, I can tell you that Kara really cared about him. And my husband said, no, she didn't. And I was like, so when you broke the news to Kara, who was with her? He said, her mother. I said, okay. So where was the baby at? So he says, the baby was being babysat by the mother's friend. So I said, in my mind, you can tell me that, but you can't tell me why my son and Kara Carlton got into it at Walmart, but you can tell me about a baby being babysat. And you couldn't tell me where the entry-exit one was. So that tells me you had no conversation with the medical examiner. Whether you were on the scene or not on the scene, you still should know where the entry-exit one was. None of this made sense to me. None. And then when they didn't want us to see the Walmart video, well, how do you know that's my son at Walmart? Because that's the question to this day nobody has answered. How do you know that is my son at Walmart? Because according to them, now he don't have an ID card or a wallet.
When did you find out that he was at Walmart?
in the conversation. When we got the information, when he called down to talk to Sergeant Schmidt, is when we found out that they were at Walmart and they got into an altercation at Walmart. So the Walmart video that they sent 6.5 months later does not even show my son in Walmart. They show an arm grabbing some keys. So they don't show the altercation. The altercation is not shown.
So when you ask them for proof that that is my son, was that when you went down there on Wednesday that you asked them to give me proof that that's my son?
Well, I wanted them to show me not just proof of my son. I want to see all these accusations that they were telling me about my son. You know, you got to be able to show me something. You can't just tell people things and not think that they're not going to want to see it. Especially you're talking about if they had an altercation at Walmart, that's on video all day. So show me the video. What would have been wrong with that? Show me the video. All I know is I'm in Florida. I don't see my son. I don't ever get to see my son. That's what I know.
So how long were you in Florida?
For 4 days.
For 4 days. And in those 4 days, you were never able to see your son?
Never got to see him. Never
got to see him.
But you were told that he was deceased.
Yeah.
But you never got a chance to see his body
all we
while
know,
you were there.
Right, and all we knew is what they were telling us. We never had any proof of anything. All we know is they said that he died. That's all we know. And it's supposedly from a gunshot wound to the head.
And this was from the detective and the sheriff, or in the police, or
no? We only spoke to the Pinellas Park Police Department. The detective. We never talk to the sheriff's department.
Okay, so all of Wednesday, you were speaking with whom?
Police department, Pinellas Park Police Department.
And in those conversations, they never offered to allow you to see anything of your son?
Nothing.
Possessions?
Nothing.
Him?
Nothing. The car that he was supposedly killed in, they didn't show us anything.
But they had already come to a conclusion
that it was all in forensics. It was, and you're right. They had pretty much came to a conclusion in the very beginning that suicide, because he didn't leave a note. But as we talked with them, whatever shifted it, they're working for us, is what he told me. We're working for you guys. We're investigating this as a homicide. So when we walk out of there, we're under assumption that they're investigating this as a homicide. And the last I checked, because I'm not a detective, but the last I checked, if there is an unattended death, it's automatically investigated as a homicide. It doesn't matter. And it's death, but supposedly unattended.
So it was supposedly understood that there was an altercation at Walmart between.
Yeah, what he said was, he said that Kara and Verdis went to the Walmart at 8:30 in the morning, okay? They went inside the store. They were shopping. At some point, they got into a disagreement. My son walked out the store and sat on the bench. He sat there for a little bit. He went back into the store. So whatever they had a disagreement about, they supposedly still had the disagreement because they were still in disagreement. Then he walks out the store, walks to the car, get in the car and leave. It's told me at the police department. Now, where the story changed at is when we got the police report. The police report state that he took keys out of the shopping cart. They never told us this in Florida. They didn't say anything, and it made sense if that's what happened, because he would have been the driver and he would have already had the keys. You see? So that did make sense then. about him supposedly walking out and getting it. What didn't make sense to me is he wouldn't have left the child. See, that didn't make no sense to me. He would have walked and left on his own and let her drive, her and her child, and not took the car. So it's a lot that I didn't believe because I know my son.
So normally when there is a possible homicide, they usually ask questions of the person who's closest to them or to you at that present time, which would have been
Kara Carlton.
So was that ever done?
Now, he said he interviewed her, but she was so upset, he didn't want to go into great details. That's what he said.
What did you think of that?
What did I think of it? I thought it was bullcrap. Like I think it is right now, bullcrap. Because no matter how upset somebody is, if they are even that upset, because you got to remember, we're time and it's Wednesday. We're going into day 3 of this. By now, she should have calmed down enough for you to go back and talk to her. And you still didn't go back and talk to her? You didn't question anything?
This was the same person who was telling you that he knew that the babysitter had the child?
Yeah. Same person. But you know that information. But you don't know what that said to me. It really did. It really did.
So
it really did.
During the time that you were there or afterward, was there any other conversations with the police with Ms. Carroll?
Okay, so when we sat down with the department, Detective Maxson, we sat down with him. I did ask for my son's papers, like if he had, because my son always had a backpack with his papers and stuff in it, laptop and all that. So I don't even know what happened to any of that stuff. But I asked for it. And he said, well, she doesn't have to turn over anything. I said, okay. I said, just ask her, And I said, he had mentioned to me that because he tried to say signed a lease for an apartment, which I know wasn't true. I was like, okay, so let me see a copy of it, because he said he took a picture of it with his phone. I said, well, let me. He said, oh, we'll get all the papers and stuff together and we'll get those sent to you in the mail. Well, I'm still waiting on those papers.
So he was supposed to be coming back to
Tennessee
for
a job Not only just a job interview, the relationship between them were over.
So why would he be signing a lease in Florida if he's coming back to? Exactly. And that was not evident to the police?
Yeah, and my husband mentioned that to him, that he had a job interview lined up and what day it was and all that. And I mean, it didn't seem to faze them at all. Not at all. Was she ever questioned? So the way they said he was identified was a still photo from Walmart. So 6.5 months later, I get this still photo that I've been waiting for to see how my son was identified. When I get the still photo, it doesn't look like my son. So was that really my son? Is that really my son? Whose body do we have?
That's the $1 million question. Whose body is that?
Yeah.
Because you said he couldn't be identified. They will not allow you pictures, right?
They didn't allow you the pictures. So this is how bodies are identified. Bodies are identified through DNA, dental, and fingerprints. Okay? Fingerprints, supposedly they did a fingerprint scan. They had no matches. Right? Now my question is, not who is that, but how did you know who we were?
But you asked them, can we see son. What was their answer?
He said, we allow family members into the morgue to see their loved ones anymore because it was like a funeral home. People were in and out the back door. So I said, can I see a picture? He says, it would take a week to get a picture. I said, T19 is going to take a week to get a picture? So at this point, all I know is you're telling me my son is dead, but I have nothing to really show me that my son is dead. And then this information that they giving me is inconsistent all the way across the board, but I'm supposed to believe this stuff? No.
When was the first time that you managed to get a hold of him?
Well, the first time we got visual of him when they finally, is when they finally sent the body to St. Louis. And then we traveled to St. Louis to view the body.
And how long was this after you left the first time to Florida?
About a week and a half.
About a week and a half. So about a week and a half, we got up to Serenity Funeral Home to view our son. So when we went in to view our son, my wife, she couldn't look at the body. So
I broke down. I was already crying.
Right. So I approached the body and I was looking at the body. And it took me a minute and I looked over the body and I looked over the body.
I asked him, why does he look so different? That's what I said.
And what I was trying to do is identify from what they were telling. And I was like, time I was asking the Miss Sayuda, and I said, well, where's the entry and the exit room? And she showed entry room. I said, well, where's the exit room? I said, they telling us that he got shot with a 40 millimeter. And he should have an exit wound on this side and on the exit wound side, hair. He's got dreadlocks of hair on that side. Mm-hmm. She said, huh? I said, yeah. I said, there's no exit wound on this body. And I asked her then, I said, you sure you got the right body? And then I looked and I kept looking. And I said, these tattoos don't look right. And I kept looking and I looked and I said, this nose don't look right. And I looked, I said, and I told her, I said, this is not my son.
And she tried to make it be our son.
Sure? I said, I know my son and this is not my son. And then she said, well, you have a picture of your son? I said, I sure do. And I pulled out my phone and I showed her a picture of my son. And she looked at that picture and then she said, can I take this back? And I guess wherever she took it back to, she left, I guess her boss or whoever she took it to, and was gone for a minute. And I said, this is not my son. And at that point, we were not going to have a funeral.
I wasn't having a funeral.
And I was like, we got a lot of, and I think I helped convince her that to have a funeral. I said, well, we coming down there. And it would be kind of bad and not have a funeral with all these people, because I didn't want to have a funeral. I said, this is not my, and tell them they sent the wrong body up here. And
She never did.
And you need to send this body back to Florida, because this is not my son. And tell them they need to send my son up here. And she never did. And she didn't come back and say,
I wanted to stop the video and I guess get some feedback from the chat on this particular story. This interview is broken into two parts, and I wanted to identify that channel for a number of you that want to follow up on this. What happened to our son? It's done by Vardis Jr. on YouTube. And this was published February 7th of 2022. And here you can see that there's a second part of that same interview concerning Verdis and what happened to him in Pinellas Park, Florida. I didn't want to go deep into it. It is a very compelling story. Thank you for the mods that did post that trigger warning. There are some extremely graphic photos of the individual that the police are claiming to be Vardis Morgan Jr. And it's something that we're going to follow. This is a situation that occurred back in 2019. And as you can hear, both the parents explain what the police told them in regards to their son is mind-blowing in and of itself. So I wanted to share this just to bring awareness to this story. The parents are still seeking justice for their son, and we're going to be following this story closely and carefully as well. Mr. Boss Blake, even though we covered a very little bit of this interview, what are some of your thoughts about it?
That's speechless for one. That's one thing I can say. First, seeing that body like that, bro.
Yeah.
That it took me back to Ahmaud Arbery, bro.
Yes, it did.
I actually had to walk away for a second, man, to be honest with you, because it angered me. And I understand how those parents feel. They ask all the right questions, like, no, this shit's not adding up, man. That's
right.
Oh man.
Yeah. And I meant to as best as I could, though. Like I said, I only got into about 10 minutes of the video and didn't really see too much of what we did see there after 10 minutes. The graphic nature of the pictures that were shown. And so I'm glad I threw up the disclaimer. I didn't mean to show those pictures in any way, shape, or form. I didn't know they were there. So for those of you that were shocked, I was just as shocked as everybody else. But it's just something that you know, they revealed, and it is a very compelling story. We're going to be keeping an eye on this. But to continue your thoughts, Mr. Boss, I'm sorry.
That's all right. One thing that I didn't understand is what the morgue. They say they were too busy. Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, you heard it correctly.
What kind of shit is that, bro?
Yeah, it sounds like a damn shopping center.
Like that didn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's like they're trying to hide something. I hate to point fingers in directions of people that didn't have anything to do with the immediate death. But now you saying shit like that, that just makes me wonder who all is involved. You know what I'm saying? Why would you say something like that?
Right.
I don't know, man. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, man, but that didn't make sense, man.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring awareness to that case. Like I said, it's an interview with the Morgan family that is posted on YouTube, parts 1 and 2. If you're able to get a chance to go to Verdis Jr. is the channel page. Go there and check out both parts in its entirety. Maybe take some notes, and because I'm definitely going to go back and take some notes on this and see where the current developments are in regards to the parents seeking justice for their son. Suicide or
Not
homicide?
suicide, bro. This ain't a suicide. This ain't no suicide.
Definitely.
It's not.
You know, it looked like, something that was very up close, something very personal, and the gun was just laid in his hands, just from the appearance of it.
Yep. Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Just from that appearance alone, I said, no, that can't be. That can't be right. And then for them to have released these photos in a time drawn out manner to the parents, just to let them know how their son had passed away, is extraordinary.
And this is from 2019, right?
This is from 2019.
Here we are 3 years later, bro.
Yeah.
When was the last article that was actually, or the news article that was posted from the media?
Right. I know that there were a couple, but once again, just like the previous story on the Monisha Leath, it's very limited media coverage on this story too. These parents have had to have an interview. In fact, it was on another content creator's page. I believe it's One Entertainment TV or something like that. That's another channel that covered this story on that channel. I believe Miss Duchess was a part of that panel, talking to the parents. I think it's a 2.5 hour live, where they explain to a degree an update on the story. I hadn't gotten to that live yet, but just wanted to just share this story, which is a very compelling story. Miss True Crimes Commentary, Miss Penny, had brought to my attention and wanted me to take a look at some things, which I'm going to do. I'd like to have your assistance, Mr. Boss Blake, in breaking this story down as well.
No problem. No problem. I had a question, but I see the same question from Jody H. about the gun. I'm assuming, did he have gun residue on his hands by any chance? Did they search for that?
Right. And that's the information pertaining to the rest of the video I hadn't gotten to.
Okay, I'm sorry. My fault.
Yeah, no, that's okay. And what DNA did they match up? What fingerprints did they match up? What gun residue did they match up? To determine that this was Vardis Morgan Jr. So it's interesting when you come across these types of cases where you just shake your head and you're blown away by the content of it.
And it's
yeah, I know.
If you
it
think
leaves
about
you speechless. It leaves you speechless.
It makes you wonder, like, because I know a lot of cases that we cover, the way they are handled, the way they are investigated, a lot of them are not done thoroughly. And it makes you wonder, is that done purposely, or is it just the lack of training? And I can't go with the lack of training, bro. I just feel like it has to be purposely. And if I say that, it makes me feel like, is there a underground world of fucking people that's doing this to these people, man? Our people.
Right.
Think about it. Think about it.
Yeah.
Look how many cases like this end like this.
Right.
It's not right, man. That shit's not right.
No,
and
it
just
isn't.
like Miss Libby said, Gabby Petito.
Yeah. Yeah, precisely. You know, and more, these cases are becoming more apparent, more on social media than mainstream. And we're the ones catching these cases and bringing awareness to them. And I thank goodness that, you know, I've come across a great team and a group of people that I could run content by, and you know, we collectively can get together and share that content to a point to where we create that awareness, you know, like we're doing for Daniel Robinson. um, it's incredible to see, you know, what law enforcement, what their limitations are, as well as what they refuse to do in these cases, and it's sad.
Yeah.
It really is sad. I want to welcome Miss Aquahoma to the chat room. Much love to you, Miss Aquahoma. I see you sneak up in here. But we're going to move on. Mr. Boss, I know you're on a time limit. I'm going to try to cover the next couple of pieces as quickly as I can. They're just some brief updates I've been meaning to touch on. And if you could stick around maybe for a couple of minutes, because I know you have your show at 6.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Okay, great. Great. At It Again Media, much love to you, is in the building. I'm going to be connecting with a majority of content creators very soon. I've been thinking of a lineup for what I usually do on Sundays at 10 p.m. Table Talk. I believe I want to try to schedule something up for the month of April. I do have Mr. Boss Blake rejoining us, back for a table talk. We haven't spoken about it yet, but I'm just giving him a heads up now.
I'm over here like, damn, for real?
When did he tell me? Right. Yeah.
No, you good. I'm down, man.
Yeah. We're going to have Mr. Boss Blake. I'd love to have the Cousins in Conversations back on. A lot of folks really enjoyed that live that we did. And we want to have that lineup for the month of April. We would like to have a number of content creators, the couple of them that you've been working with, developing their channels. I know that Miss At It Again Media, I'm going to be talking to very soon. Miss Jastar is another. Miss Lady Love is another. And a number of them. I've been talking with Chris Thorne. We've been going back and forth email wise. We're going to have Chris Thorne on a table talk. So these are the things that I'm lining up for the month of April. So, but we'll let you know how those developments go as we proceed. All right. Our next case, and thank you all for joining us. I wanted to go into a full screen share here. No audio. So you'll have to let me know when you see these pictures. Okay. We have covered first story today, Monisha Leath. And this is out of Floyd County, Polk County line in Georgia. Went missing on February 24th of this year. Still missing today. And there may be a very strong person of interest in this case, and that is, and that is the spouse. Okay, we covered that with Mr. Boss Blake and Miss Libby. The second story, Vardis Morgan Jr., a compelling case we'll be looking into. But the next story I haven't touched base with in a while. I've seen a lot of coverage still on this case, and I wanted to basically share with you just a couple of thoughts about it. And Mr. Boss Blake, I'm sure that you're familiar with this case too, so you can chime in as well as to some of your thoughts on this particular case. And this particular case I'm talking about is none other than Summer Wells.
Man.
A 5-year-old that went missing on June 15th of 2021, still missing today, a little over 9 months later, out of Rogersville, Tennessee. This story has now unfolded to a point to where it has captured the quote unquote the true crime community of YouTube. There's a lot going on with this story. There have been a lot of interviews done online on YouTube regarding this story of the two parents that were responsible for Summer. That's Don and Candace Wells, or let me put it in a proper term, Don Wells and Candace Bly. I was able to find out that they're not married, hence the reason for the two last names being different from one another. And so she's still missing. There have been major searches since then that have gone on in Rogersville looking for this young 5-year-old, now 6. Summer had a birthday that just passed. And this is one of the most high-profile cases that we've come across, next to the Gabby Petito case. And this case is still hot. People want to know where Summer is. We were able to find out a little bit more information, but my hat's off and great thanks goes out to the content creators that were a part of something very special that we did last year in October in reference to increasing the reward fund to well over $74,000 with a team of content creators such as Mr. Boss Blake, Miss Q. Hold on one second. Oh, okay. I get these delayed messages that come through my phone. Miss Q, Mr. Scott H has thoughts. Miss Penny from True Crimes Commentary. Miss Libby from Libby's Lessons, FYM. And a host of other creators, Miss Queen Talks Crime, Miss Anita from Anita's World. I can go on and on. But this is a case that's touched the hearts of many, many people. And we collectively got together and did something very special to increase that reward fund from where it was at a low, stifling number, near about $35,000, up to now well over $74,000. Has not moved since then. It makes a statement, and it was just something very special that I am just so grateful to be a part of, to try to assist in making a positive contribution in light of what happened to Summer. We're still looking for Summer. We're still working on this case. However, unlike other channels, we're not going to just have commentary on other content creators covering this story in ways that don't complement the story in its entirety. We're looking for new developments. We're looking for indictments, which I believe this is finally starting to look like it's headed toward. And I say that only because I believe that the Hawkins County Sheriff's Department, along with TBI, along with the FBI, had a little over 9 months to collect all of the various different direct and circumstantial evidence to possibly come out with some indictments, false statements, and a host of other things. That's my feeling on it. We're also looking at the DA's office out of Utah in reference to SA allegations that have been made against Donald Wells in regards to several people that were interviewed on the Interview Room, Chris Madonna's show and platform. And I believe that these two particular cases, they're two separate cases, are going to, even though they're parallel to each other because they involve the same people, they're going to head towards a crossroads. They are going to collide only because, as I said before, they involve the same people. So, with that said, I just wanted to say that there are a number of content creators out there still interviewing Candace Bly. She has definitely taken over the lead from Donald doing his interviews. We know that Donald is in jail for a probation violation. He'll be there up until possibly June, July, or August of this year. And then the court is going to highly recommend and suggest that he goes to rehab. We'll see exactly what happens there. It's an 11 and a half month stay in jail. So I believe well before the end of that jail term, the DA most likely will go ahead and move and get this to a grand jury, which will be next month. I think they're going to convene on April the 11th of next month is when they will be convening and taking a look at all of the evidence that the FBI, TBI, and Hawkins County Sheriff's Department have accumulated to see if there's enough there to indict. So with that said, Mr. Boss Blake, any thoughts?
Yeah, I was just wondering that final thing you said. I wonder, is it going to turn out to be similar to the Orson West case where they actually do indict them? But to be honest with you, I thought Candace would have said something by now, being that her play husband is in jail. But that haven't happened. I'm not saying it won't, but I just feel like I don't know why I just feel like Candace knows everything, and maybe that's the reason she can't say nothing, because she probably was the main culprit. That's the way I feel about it. And another thing that stood out to me is how long it took for the grandmother to finally go on camera and speak about it. Of course, we know about what happened to her daughter.
Right.
And to me, I would have been like, whoa, wait a minute. But that never happened. So I wonder how much do she know? Because she immediately disappeared. Didn't she go out of town after this happened?
Yeah, she went to Wisconsin, I believe.
Right. But now, I mean, she wants to speak. It's a lot of things that from day one that if you go back and pay attention to, like the interview, what his name is, Chris did the interview with the little young fellow on that porch. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, Hunter.
Like all that disappeared. I ain't gonna say people forgot about it, but I think that played a very important part of this case.
Right. And indeed, because they seem to have isolated him, whether he's in protective custody for some strange reason, is a 15-year-old that had never gotten his phone back after he was interviewed by TBI and the FBI. So I'm looking at that and leaning towards that he could be a possible witness in some way, shape, or form, because he had direct contact with Candace and Summer and Grandma, so to speak.
Just like
that infamous day of June 15th of 2021.
Right.
And him being isolated like that is telling me that, there could be a possibility of, these law enforcement agencies collectively bringing together everything thus far to a grand jury that is going to be convening next month.
Think about it. What does that sound like? It sounds just like those other 4 boys that was brothers with Orson and Oren. They moved away from that, took them away from their parents because they was a witness. I'm telling you. That's why I said that's what this remind me of.
Yes. And, to see these two stories parallel, because they do have similarities, and in a way, them running parallel lines, one 14-month going into 15 months now is going to trial for the boys. And I feel that this case will be following those lines down the road due to certain people being isolated in this case as well. But we will definitely see how that develops for next month. If the grand jury, when the grand jury does convene, we're going to hear about a grand jury convening to take a look at evidence presented to them to see whether the evidence collected by law enforcement will be enough to produce an indictment. In this case, if Donald had anything to do with Summer's disappearance, they already have him. And as for Candace, obviously her name is going to possibly be a part of that indictment, only because her story has changed so many different times. And now with the grandmother coming out and also stating that there was a nap that she took that day that wasn't a part of the original statement that Candace made when she spoke to Chris Madonna from the interview room, which alters the timeline. So I've even said in our last Q Squared Live that she needs to be brought in and re-questioned based upon her original statement, because it has changed so many different times. That she was in the basement, then she was outside, and things of that nature.
It is. I swear. I mean, everything matches up with the Orson and Oren case. He said they went to take the kids to the grandmother. Just how many people should have came back, but they seen that was not the case. She done switched her story. Like, when those type of things happen, you expect for law enforcement to make a move like, okay, we got to bring you back in again. But for some reason, that's not happening. And
right.
I don't know if they're just building a case against what they already have. And when it gets solid enough, they go get them. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
Exactly. And so let's see. So that's what I wanted to touch upon just a little bit today. I usually wait for solid information to come from law enforcement. I do believe in the due process aspect of the law, because when they say it, it's guaranteed, and it's not hearsay, such as the information that may be floating around social media. We're all looking for justice for this little girl, to find her. I believe that there's another YouTube channel out there covered under the name of Ernie Shell, who seems to be currently putting together Operation Find Summer type of situation, and is looking, I guess, to get permission from Candace to take a 10-person team out there to the property, a specific team out to the property to begin a search effort. They have some ideas. They want to share that with Candace Bly. I don't know if anything has been finalized yet, whether she gave them approval to do so or not. This situation could be unfolding as fast as next week. I'm, following the case as closely as I can to see what new developments do occur in this case. But what I'm also looking at is the grand jury to see what they're going to say about the evidence that's going to be presented to them if that date is not pushed up or changed. So we shall see.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's see else. Wanted to cover a little bit about the Daniel Robinson case that we've been working on currently. Mr. David Robinson, father of Daniel Robinson, 25-year-old field geologist who went missing in Buckeye, Arizona, still missing today, also has hit the 9-month mark. Today's the 27th. He went missing the 23rd of June of last year, 8 days after Summer went missing. And this case has gotten and is getting as much of attention on social media, more so now than it did when the case first got started. Mr. David Robinson has been a part of our panel. He has given us updates on the search efforts that he's been able to do out there in the Sonoran Desert, as well as the city searches in the areas of Phoenix, Buckeye, and several other places. I've worked together with a team, a special team working behind the scenes to give information, possible evidence, but more or less information on the direction Mr. David Robinson can take based upon his search efforts, and to also assist in directing him on towards getting evidence analyzed. One of the things that we've been talking to Mr. Robinson about is getting Daniel's phone forensically analyzed by a company outside of Arizona. We were able to successfully dispatch information to him in regards to having this kind of a company begin the forensics process on Daniel's phone, so that this would be able to assist in helping us understand the timeline a whole lot better, who Daniel came in contact with the day before he went missing, the day of his disappearance, and whether the phone may have been manipulated in some way, shape, or form by the Buckeye Police Department when they collected it at the crash site out in the Sonoran Desert. So that process is unfolding. Mr. Robinson is still doing a fundraising campaign, a GoFundMe campaign. We've spoken about on previous lives to help with the forensic examination cost of the phone, the airbags, Daniel's clothes, his laptop computer, and the entire 2017 Jeep Renegade that Daniel drove that day out to the job site where he went missing, nearly 3 miles south of where he was working. Still today, no one knows the whereabouts of Daniel Robinson, and we're still looking for him. That said, I've worked very closely and carefully with Ms. Q on this case. We're looking for Daniel, working hard behind the scenes with other content creators. Ms. Unu is a part of that. Mr. Renegade is part of that. T. Sophia is a part of that. You, of course, Mr. Boss Blake, are a part of that elite team selected regarding its confidentiality as to, what we're able to find, and give that information over to Mr. Robinson so he could pursue any avenues pertaining to the legal aspects of anything that does evolve from this case for him, as well as help him to search for his son. Miss Q was out there in Arizona just recently for the candlelight prayer vigil that Mr. Robinson had. I am dying to talk with her. I think she'll be able to share some information on Q Squared this Wednesday. I will be in contact with her later on this evening to get an update. I hadn't even gotten a chance to speak with her about any of the updates that I know that she's excited about getting over to us. So, Mr. Boss Blake, your thoughts?
I mean, I think it's unfortunate that what Mr. Robinson has to deal with, but it's a beautiful thing to see this community most definitely help as much as they has, and y'all just keep them in your prayers, because they're not helping. You see it for yourself.
Right.
Shout out to Miss Q for even making that trip to Arizona. I think that was huge to see that there's a genuine love for the human race, and you don't even know these people, to raise over $35,000 for someone, to help raise money for Mr. Robinson, to go support this man in his time of need. It is good people still in this world, and I have to salute that, because these are the type of people I want to be around and I want to be a part of. So big up to you, John, and everybody else who's been supporting each case that you bring to them. But still a long way to go, and I'm here for the long haul. I'm here anytime you need me. I'm working on other cases myself, but I'm always going to be here. So that's really all I got to say.
I hear you. I appreciate that so much. That's why you and I run tight, brother. Because what we're looking to do, not many people are doing, and that's no takeaway, from them. But we just have a different perspective that we bring to the YouTube community, and a lot of people appreciate it. And your channel has grown, my channel has grown, Miss Q's channel has grown, only with the right people. Any fall away in terms of subscribers or whatever have you, those people were not intended to hang around anyway, in any way, shape, or form, to make any kind of contribution. So I look at that as a positive as well. Let me see. I think our final, before I let you go, Mr. Boss, our final touch base on this is going to be obviously the boys, our California City Boys, Classic and Sincere Pettis, went missing on December 21st of 2020. It's a 14-month search effort and continues today. Two tunnels that went missing right underneath their adoptive parents' nose for some strange reason. And now we see that to date, that Jacqueline and Trezell West, the adoptive parents of both Classic and Sincere, are in jail. An indictment came down from the grand jury just recently, and the DA, along with special investigators working on the case, along with Bakersfield Police Department, the FBI, and of course California City Police, stayed on this to a point to where direct evidence as well as circumstantial evidence was brought in front of the grand jury, and it was enough there for them to produce indictments for both Trezell and Jacqueline West in second-degree murder count, as well as felony child abuse and falsifying an emergency. So this case has now made a hard turn, I believe, for the better, because now we'll be able to get to the bottom of this whole case here. They are lawyered up. They have been offered by the court legal representation to represent them in an upcoming trial, which is going to be taking place on May 23rd. That is the trial date. They do have a discovery portion hearing coming up, I believe sometime this week. Okay, I just got that, Mr. Boss. Okay, and their defense attorneys have made themselves known in this case that they will be taking the case to trial in their defense. They both pled not guilty to a second-degree murder charge, as well as the other 2 counts that they're going to trial for. And this is finally going to get to a point where we will get answers. The attorneys, the DA has interviewed well over 50 people thereabout, collected both physical evidence and circumstantial evidence to have had a grand jury indict the both of them for the first heavy count of second-degree murder. So after 14 months now, going into a 15th, we're still looking for the boys. We want to know where they are. If they are gone, as the DA states that they are, 3 months prior to the 911 call that was made in regards to their disappearance, then, we'll be looking for some solid answers when it comes to trial. And I believe from what the DA had mentioned in a compelling statement that was made during a press conference that they had, Cynthia Zimmer stated that the boys were deceased 3 months prior to the 911 disappearance of the boys. So I'm looking forward to that. I know we're going to be doing case coverage together with Mr. Boss Blake, Miss Q, maybe a host of other content creators to participate in the active trial settings, just as we did the Ahmaud Arbery trial during that time. So your thoughts, Mr. Boss, because I know you got to run.
We all knew this was the case. We knew from day one who we felt the guilty culprits were. But one thing about that plea, and this is why I feel they pled not guilty, is because I think they're depending on no face, no case. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's not the case at all. They can still charge you without a body, and they let that be known up front. So now what I feel is going to happen, Jacqueline's going to turn on them. Bet your bottom dollar on that.
Now you figure for reducing her time, reducing her participation, reducing her sentence to get a lighter sentence to try to come out of this.
Yeah, they might even offer her immunity, because I don't put nothing past a woman. Well, I'm not putting nothing past her in particular, but if you really want to think about it, who looks like he's in charge? Who looks like the controlling person? So if this was something that she did not want to participate in, that's all she got to say. That's all she got to say. I feared for my life. He said, if I say anything, he would kill me. You know what I'm saying? That's all she got to say. And they could offer her immunity, and she'll testify right against it and tell everything.
Right. I mean, it would be to her advantage, to a very large degree. However, according to the indictment, there was a minor that was involved, possibly one of the oldest children that was involved in the commission of a crime, which was brought up in the indictment. So this is going to be a very, very extremely interesting case that the prosecution is going to bring, and how the defense team for both Jacqueline and Giselle are going to be handling their defense, because the only thing that they have going is to try to cut away at the DA's evidence as best as they can to cause reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
You see, so this will definitely be something that we'll be covering further on this channel, along with Miss Q, Mr. Boss Blake. This is something that's coming up definitely, and finally, final time. It's about time we get to the bottom of what happened to Classic and Sincere. Maybe, hopefully, somebody will tell us where they are so that they can be brought home and given a proper service that they deserve.
Yeah, most definitely. I appreciate you for having me. Before
Yes.
I go real quick, just to respond to Miss Patty Wack, she said she had plenty of time to get away. You never know. You never know. My opinion, and this is my opinion only, I'm pretty sure he kept a close eye on her. And think about it. We haven't heard nothing from her parents. Did you ever think, and I'm just asking,
right,
has she been in contact with her parents? I think this dude probably kept her under her wing at all times. Yeah, and that probably was an opportunity for her to get away. But he know he know where to find her. So I don't know, that's a good thing. Could be. But let me run. I gotta get set up for this my cousin conversation. If y'all get done, slide on through, man. We having a prize giveaway. So I'll talk to y'all later, man.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Boss Blake. I will catch you on your side when I'm finished on my side.
All right, brother.
All right, brother. One love. All right, Mr. Boss Blake, everybody. We wanted to give you a little bit of a update as to some of the work that I've been doing. I hope I did my job this afternoon by sharing some of the casework that I'm doing alongside with Miss Libby in regards to the Monisha Leath case and Mr. Boss Blake in regards to the same case as well as the West case. And we're going to be taking a careful look at the Vardis Morgan Jr. case out of Florida. I know I haven't gotten to a lot of your comments this afternoon. We will have a follow-up. You know where that follow-up is going to be because it will be part of the discussion that we have on Q Squared with Miss Q. And so for all of you that have taken your little time out this afternoon to join me once again on covering some of the cases that we brought to your attention this afternoon, thank you so much. Thank you to all the moderators, 12-Step Woman, Miss Aquahoma. Much love to you. Thank you for your love and support and appreciation for the work done on this channel. We're looking for a very and Miss Marley 13, Miss Anna. There are a couple of others that have shown their support through my little phone over here. And that's so much appreciated because it keeps things running on my side a little bit better. And it helps us to focus on the stories that matter the most. I will be looking for a dynamic April, looking to speak with some content creators for Table Talk. I do have a listing in mind. Miss Lady Love, that does include you. Mr. Chris Thorne. We talked about having Miss At It Again Media and a host of others. So I'm starting to put together that timetable to come back to you on Sundays at 10 p.m. To share with you their stories, why they are on YouTube, what their channels are about, and to promote the good work that they're doing on their channels. That's what Table Talk was put together to do. Once again, my love and heart goes out to Mr. Boss Blake, who inspired me to do Table Talk, just as he does Cousins and Conversations, the Vibe Room, Grown Folks Talk, and a number of other shows that he does on his channel. So his inspiration is now a part of my channel as well. His intros, his music will always be shared specifically and exclusively on my channel because he's made such a major contribution to it. Sometimes the man behind the scene working with you is always on your behalf, that is always good to listen to because he's grown his channel in a way to where he can do it all, and he does it all. So thank you, Mr. Boss Blake, for joining me this afternoon. I look forward to connecting with him on Cousins and Conversations, which is going to be taking place in about another 10 minutes on his channel. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to Mr. Boss Blake. Let me just do this real quick. And go to screen share. Just to share with you Mr. Boss Blake's channel. He's coming on with Cousins and Conversations tonight. It's a very interesting forum where he has family members interacting with his chat. And they get into some real good discussions covering the issues that not many people touch. And so, that's going to be interesting tonight. I don't know what the topic is going to be, but I know it's always hot. So I don't know if I shared that right or if I did share it at all, but oh no, I didn't even share it right. I thought I was sharing it there for a second. I'll just wait for the share button to pop up. Let me see. There we go. Like I'm waiting for the share button. Where the hell's the share button? When you're multitasking and you're looking at your phone and you got your tablet over here covering the chat, and then you got to come back to your main screen and, handle your mouse and everything. You know how it is. But yes, join Mr. Boss Blake and his upcoming live in about 10 minutes. Cousins and Conversations. You will not be disappointed. The topics and issues that he covers on his case, extraordinary to say the least. And when you leave, you walk away with something positive. And that's what the brother's all about. That's what he's been about. That's what he'll be about. So please, yes, thank you for dropping the link, Miss 12 Step, to Mr. Boss Blake's channel. And I'm going to get ready to wrap it up over here. Our next discussion will be with the beautiful, the lovely, the elegant Miss Q. We want to definitely find out her feedback on her trip from Arizona covering the Daniel Robinson case, along with some new updates that she's been working on. She just finished her sermon series on her channel. I believe that started this afternoon at 3 p.m., a half hour before I went live. So she's always educating. I love that woman. I'm telling you, always got something good and positive and empowering going on her channel. So don't miss this Wednesday night's Q Squared. We're going to be getting into a lot there. And I want to just say thank you. Thank you for giving me the privilege to be the kind of channel that that brings to you something that fulfills something inside of you. Thank you for letting me be the voice for the voiceless and a lot of the work that I do on my channel and the cases that I cover. Thank you for putting 5 stars and thumbs up on the work that I do. It does empower me, it encourages me, and it keeps me strong to dig into these to these types of cases that need resolution and remedy to them. And so your support has been the anchor that holds this channel up, robust, bold, and alive. And so my love goes out to all of you in reference to that. If you're not subscribed, please do. We will be back on here once again on Wednesday, if nothing else comes to my attention that I need to go live before Wednesday, with Miss Q and the dynamics of Q Squared, bringing you up to date on a lot of the casework that we've been doing. So yes, so it's about that time, folks. Up until we meet again, as I've always said, be well and stay blessed with Godspeed. Once again, thank you, Miss Libby, for joining us this afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Boss Blake. We'll be back at you. We'll be back at you. And I'm not going to forget 420 TV. We're going to be touching base with him in regards to the work that he's doing on his channel too. So there's going to be a powerful April lineup. I may be doing Table Talk back-to-back series. Who knows? We'll see what develops. But the folks that I've spoken about and mentioned to you here this afternoon regarding the upcoming Table Talks are good people indeed. And the work they're doing on their channels, well, you'll see. You'll see. But other than that, once again, thank you for hanging out with me. I hope what I brought to you, shared with you this afternoon, brings awareness to these cases. Hopefully we can get and work towards getting resolution and remedy to them. That's the kind of work that I do here on this channel, and I'm very proud of it. Very proud of it. So with that said, I'm going to close out with Mr. Boss Blake's Power Over the Enemy. And I'll see you next time on Q the Truth, John Q. You know how we do it. Let's go to work.
Body to be global. Murder.
It's like we losing our people every day. 'Cause anywhere that we go, we ain't safe. It became such a long line as they wait at the gate. They talk about wearing masks, but we must pray. Our people are fading away. Sick of dealing with this nonsense. I'm really thinking Satan's appetite is bottomless. Yeah, he tried it then, but we gon' get up out of this. Satan, you a coward and the government is siding with him. But one thing about it, my God is merciful, true. And two things about it, he's still working for. You took my mom, you took a whole lot of black women. Now we behind this, gon' take some time to get back in it. Yeah, we black, but are we that different? To send a virus to our people to make them go missing. It's like they trying to keep my people sitting in detention. They put this virus on this earth, but they forgot to mention I really need my spiritual people to listen. 'Cause this is only the beginning, this is never ending. And for my people in my city, just know I'm riding with you. And I'm riding to the end. It's like we losing our people every day. 'Cause anywhere that we go, we ain't safe. It became such a long line as they wait at the gate. They talk about wearing masks, but we must pray. Our people are fading away.
It's time to pray. In this time and stay, gotta dig deep down for faith. 'Cause I know a lot of people that done lost their way, had lost their faith. God, if it gon' come down right now, it's time. Everybody around me dying, 'cause I'm tired of crying. I don't wanna give up and don't believe. I'm trying. My brother from another mother lost his brother, and that same brother from another mother lost his mother. That make us ask you why. We die. It'll turn to thunder and rain. We still on earth, we got days. Still gotta keep on wishing and maintain. I believe it's a better place than this earth we own. I'm feeling like boom. I hope we see y'all at the crossroads. Never knew for sure I could be in a better place than this state. I would take off and try to get to the front gates, and I hope I got a space. And we pray.
spray.